Ooh, welcome in, everybody. It's another episode of the DNVR Rapids Podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, a.k.a. Merchel, a.k.a. USA, USA, USA. We're going to beat Canada tonight.
Mexico, 2-0, dude.
Yep, you're right.
That was the one that, again, if they lose the cup at this time, I'm cool. Like, Mexico showed up.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. But I hope the U.S. wins tonight.
That guy that got everything he needed, of course, Super Yaya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, you're giving me too many things to remember for the next episode. Also joining us, of course, downtown, Duane Brown.
Hello. Welcome to Talking About Soccer
Welcome to Hate Week,
against the
Salt
most
Week.
hated team ever.
the Salt Cast, hating on the fakest ones. It is RMC Week. How excited are you, Yaya, for RMC Week?
I'm actually very not excited for this. I am the complete opposite of this.
Not excited.
No, I'm scared.
Zero excitement.
Terrified.
Duane?
I'm not terrified. I think there's chances,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm nervous. I'm nervous for sure.
I am excited because I love Rivalry Week. Who cares what happens for that 90 minutes besides all of us after it happens? But if they win, I'm going to be like I was excited the whole time. And if we lose, I'm going to say I knew it was coming. Win, win, win. Win, 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 win.
Mitch is out here playing chess while the rest of us are
4D
playing
chess.
soccer checkers.
We got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, Rocky Mountain Cup Game 1 kicks off on Saturday. We're going to talk about rotation changes, what we're liking, what we're not liking, who we think maybe should get some minutes, and where. We're going to get into the game itself, obviously, and our predictions and kind of what to look for, thanks to super analyst Yaya. And we're going to talk about all the things we love to hate about Salt Lake. What could be better? That's like the best segment of the year. All the things to hate. First, let's jump in. Starting 11, the same 2 games in a row.
Yep.
The surprise of Ollie jumping in there. Not surprised. It wasn't a surprise the second time. It was a surprise the first time. Jasper getting no minutes last week after getting some minutes against Portland. Jonathan Lewis with the game-losing mistake as he came on late. Yeah, where do you want to start with this? I mean, do you want to start with who we think should start, who we think shouldn't start?
I think we should start with what we think of the starting 11 so far.
Sure.
I think we have to set the ground and see where they're at right now and what we actually like and what are some things they can work on.
Yeah.
One of the main things that I really like from this so far, it's the fluidity of the front three.
Mm-hmm.
We see Calvin run to the left side at times. We see Jordy really dominate that right at times. But you also see him move into that kind of like deep lying playmaker. And I also like that Cole can move into the left and to the right whenever needed. I just really like the way those front four kind of work together. To me, that's the one thing that it's really hard to touch. Even though I think Omir should be the guy. Omir for Calvin, it's really hard right now with all the chances that you are creating.
I love the idea of Omir super sub personally because he's so versatile. He can spell Cole. He can spell Calvin. He can. I mean, if you had to take Georgie off, you could throw him in there. Although I don't see Georgie coming off for any reason. You're right though. That if there's any question, it is that right wing. Not because Calvin hasn't done a good job, but because I think there's kind of a lot of guys around the same level there.
Yep.
And maybe Calvin is the best. I wouldn't think you're crazy if you said Calvin's the best of those options. But it's also, I think, I mean, have we seen Cabral yet? Did he play late against?
I don't think he's come on yet.
Yeah, so I don't think we've seen any of Cabral yet. Lewis obviously blew the game on Saturday. Omir looked great after he came on Saturday. So maybe you do want to kind of play around on that right wing. But for the most part, I agree. Why that's not the part that has been detrimental so far. Duane, do you have any thoughts on the top? Or
I agree 100%. That's, I'm a 100% Calvin Harris guy.
Yeah.
But
Officially.
officially,
round
yeah.
one, Calvin Harris guy.
But if Armas wanted to make the switch out and start Omir and have Harris come in as the sub, I'm good with that too. Like, Omir looked really, really good Saturday in the very, very, very small amount of time we've been able to see him play. So, you know, I love Calvin Harris, but I love winning more. So whatever it takes to get the 3 points, do it.
And another thing that Juan is saying in the comments, drop asset for Omir. I think
that's going to be, while it might make sense, I don't see it happening at all.
So my thing is, if you do that, you drop asset into an 8, and then you're kind of without Ollie or Ronan at the 6.
Yeah, you have to choose one.
Yeah, and then you gotta have to choose one of those, and that's kind of hard to do. I think Calvin had a really great first game. He scored a goal, was the most creative player on the pitch, and that's even including Mihailovic. But
had an assist in the second game.
Exactly, like kind of.
I'm just joking.
We'll count it. But the whole thing is, I don't think you can drop asset for the one reason, team morale.
Yeah.
You've kind of built it around past it a little bit. You've put him on this pedestal. And it would send a message that, hey, things aren't good enough right now, but it's only 2 games in, and it might be too quick to actually kind of throw that out there. I think that's a move that you leave for later in the year if things aren't working.
Yeah.
And then you kind of drop asset off. But I think the real way to go would be Omir for Calvin if you're going to make a change in the top 4.
Yep.
But again, it's very hard to make one after Calvin has been playing pretty well. I think last game he had, from having a really good first game, he had an okay game last game. And Omir just kind of came in with fresh legs too against the tired Nashville team and kind of dominated that right side and had some great opportunities, which is why we're kind of like, if you're going to bring anybody in, it should be for that. But you also got to be aware that Salt Lake is not coming off that same tiredness. Salt Lake is not, they're also playing at altitude. They're playing on that kind of stuff. Elevation. As Mitch loves to say that.
No, they play on an airplane, Mitch.
Floating pitch. I'm in.
But that's another kind of reason that I wouldn't want to switch Omir for Calvin, because having Omir's fresh legs in the second half would help a lot more against this kind of team.
I like Juan's point that we want to drop the top goal scorer on the team with one.
With one, yeah.
Look, I don't want to drop Calvin. I'm just saying if there's anywhere to play around, it's there.
Probably there.
Right, and it's not, and that's just, we're just talking attack. I think you keep that for the same at least through LAFC.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just give them enough time to say we gave it enough time.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So let's jump back to the midfield a little bit. A little further. Lamine Diak played against Hailstorm in a scrimmage over the weekend. Started. Jasper also started. So that means there's, they obviously wanted them to get some run because you're not going to just have them play the day after, right?
Of course.
Ricardo, who is in the chat, shout out to Ricardo, said that DX still needs to get into game shape a little bit. I would not expect him to play this game. I probably wouldn't expect him to play until the next home game,
which is 2 games from now.
Correct. Got 2 roadies and then you come back. So that would be my guess there. But are we going to see Jasper against his former club? That's kind of the biggest question for me, because we all had him penciled in as that midfield guy, right? As the starter at the 6, as the guy who is aggressive in finding tackles, in finding the ball, in putting pressure on the ball. It's tough to say, Juan pointed out, Ollie is passing probably better than anybody on the team right now. So it's tough to say put Jasper in for him, but we also just watched RSL just completely smoke LAFC in that snow game. Now it's a snow game.
I was about to say, that's the one thing that kind of throws me off a little bit.
I thought they played well versus Miami.
Yeah.
And they played okay against Miami. God, I hate them so much. I don't want to even say that. That felt gross.
They look strong against, the chosen one.
Look, I'm not going to say that oh wow, they played so well in the elements, because one team, it's always going to be it feels like it's always going to be a pretty lopsided performance in those games, but it's a mindset thing, right? LAFC, you expect to have that championship mindset. We're going to come out and be better than you because we are. And they folded.
It was great, by the way.
Right? They whined and bitched and moaned and didn't play hard and got smoked. Right? And am I going to say that like, oh man, RSL played so great, they beat LAFC? No, but you get that result. That's a mentality result. That's a we're not messing around result. And that is a little nervous when you just had a home game in a winnable game without one of the best players in the league playing you, and you blew it. You blew 3 points at home in embarrassing fashion. Right? And that's just...
The mentality there is not the same right now.
No.
And that's exactly where you're getting at, that it feels like RSL's looking for something else. They're looking for that next level. They know who they are, and they're trying to reach that level of being a bona fide contender year in and year out, while the Colorado Rapids are still trying to find their footing as a team and what they're doing. And that's one thing that does scare me a little bit, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. Dustin, where Reed is out for the season, which I think it's going to be a huge loss for them.
That's a big deal for us.
Yeah.
Especially because they don't have Jasper, too.
Exactly.
Right?
So, but kind of to that whole Jasper thing, I think Jasper does have to come in and play this game. I think even if it's 20 minutes, it's because he's a guy that understands the system they're trying to run and understand those players, and it's going to be a disruption. Especially if you bring him in the last 20 minutes of the game where the RSL's a little bit more tired, Colorado's a little bit more tired, fresh legs in that midfield to disrupt that Diego Luna, disrupt Chicho Arango's kind of whole thing in the attack. It would be very beneficial for the Rapids. And that's the one change I would make to the rotation, but I wouldn't make to the starting 11.
Right.
I think it's a guy that has to come in and play a little bit more minutes for the Rapids and bring in that physicality that I feel the Rapids have missing a little bit. I feel Bombi has brought it, but it feels sometimes that Keegan and Sam are a little bit more passive because they're trying to get ahead and recover, and that's not their game. So they need somebody in that midfield who's willing to throw a body, willing to slide on somebody, get a yellow, and just make the other team think twice about getting into that zone between the defense and the midfield.
I would actually start Jasper.
Oh, you would?
And this is why. We've spent years watching Pablo Ball. We know what Pablo Ball is. It's very, very easy to see. It's long passes. I want the guy who can disrupt those passes and tackle the best on the team back there. And I think that might be Jasper. And I want to come out with that and not give them the chance to make that statement up front. Your whole long ball pass thing isn't going to work on us. We know your game, and just to have that physicality come in and screw that up right from the beginning is how I think we disrupt that. So I think having that strong tackler, having that person who's going to get aggressive, along with Bombi being in there to bust up those long passes is going to be critical.
Bombi is so good.
He's
He
awesome.
was so fun to watch on Saturday. Yeah, you're right. He needs that. Him and Maxu specifically need that partner in the midfield that can drop in between them and allow Sam and Keegan to do their offensive thing, which we know is going to happen, right? Do you trust Connor Ronan to be the third center back on those situations?
I personally
He's pretty
don't that
tiny.
much. Yeah.
He's not very
I don't,
physical. He doesn't have
because-
the mindset of getting in there and getting his hands dirty.
No, well, and the thing is with Ronan is Ronan's great on the ball, right? It's like moving the ball up is where he shines. That's where he breaks ankles and makes dudes look silly. But for this game, Real Salt Lake doesn't lose games. They make you beat them. They're not going to beat the Rapids tomorrow. They're going to wait for the Rapids to beat the Rapids.
Right.
That's Real Salt Lake soccer. So, if I have to make the change to push Ronan, out and have him sub in later when we need to get that goal and really push hard on offense, I'm fine making that if it brings in someone to be that person that Mitch is talking about, sliding in the middle and disrupting those long balls. it's common. Like, we all know what the strategy is. You know, I'm sitting here on a fluffy chair and not being a pro a pro coach. So what do I know? But, you know, I'm just, we know what it looks like. And so I think in this situation, I want to have someone there who is wrecking stuff back there and wrecking their plan. And then, you know, if it's still zeros or something like that, or we're down 1 in the second half, then we go full offense, because it's like, we're down 1 anyway. F it, like, everybody in.
Right.
You guys want to know something very interesting?
Of course.
From what you guys have been talking about, that caught my eye. You guys are talking about subbing out Ronan instead of Ollie, which just kind of shows how much Ollie has won our trust within 2 games. Maybe he wasn't the greatest defensively, but offensively, he's been a great piece for the Rapids, a great distributor on attack.
I think they're very similar.
Yeah,
so it's either one, you know.
But I kind of like that idea of Ollie instead of Ronan in the starting, not because I don't like Ronan, but because he is bigger. He's a little bit more physical. He is willing to throw the body around a little bit more than Ronan is. He's still not a Jasper type where he's willing to bring in that tackle, bring in the physicality. But that strength, that height, that girth, really really does play to the advantage of what the Rapids are trying to do, be more physical in that midfield. And that's what I think what we expect them to do, right? Yeah. If you're trying to face Chicho or trying to face Diego Luna, who are very dynamic players who can find the ball in spaces and just create something out of nothing.
See, specifically that reason, man. I don't want to see Chicho flying free, right, with a scrambling Keegan or a scrambling Bombi trying to rein in a run like that. We saw that against Portland. It didn't work. That's why we need excuse me. That's why we need one of those midfielders with that attacking mindset out there. Right? And obviously, possession-wise, passing-wise, the team has played so well. So are you willing to take a little bit of a hit with that, not having Ollie and Ronan out there together, in order to have that defensive mindset on the back, having one more guy out there with the dog going the other way, right?
Yeah.
No, we cannot doubt Ollie and Ronan got that dog attacking, but we need that dog defending. Need it. You're not going to survive this game without it.
Yeah, of course. One thing, too, I apologize to Ronan. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, Ronan. And we're talking about you starting on the bench.
It's Ronan's birthday? Man,
right
that's
now.
my guy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Connor Ronan.
You're pretty bad at being a my guy. So
I'm sorry. I'm bad at birthdays in general.
I have them all scheduled on my calendar so I can...
No, you don't.
No, I'm scrolling through Twitter and it came up.
Backline played all 90. All 4 of them.
I personally would have switched anything. I love how Bombito and Maxu played last game. I love the intensity they're playing with.
Me too.
And I also love the way Keegan defended against Shuffleberg was a little scary because Shuffleberg is really fast.
Yeah.
But I still trust Keegan quite a bit. I think Keegan's one of those guys that once he gets the ball, he's trying to look forward offensively. Again, a guy that's ready to find the next pass going forward. Defensively, I think he's been fine the last game. And I think the back line should stay exactly how it is because they've done great. I think, except for the first game where their XG was like .69 and they conceded 4 goals, I think they've done a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really complain about offensive, I mean, obviously scoring, right? Like that's the one thing you can't complain about is a lack of goals. Just 1 goal scored offensively through the 2 games, but possession-wise, passing-wise, even after a rough first 45, maintaining shape, I think, for the last game and a half. You liked what you saw, minus finishing, which, surprise, surprise.
That's everybody.
Rapids struggled with finishing. Story of the last year, basically. Any other lineup notes? Any other lineup thoughts? In terms of subs, is it time to see Cabral instead of Lewis?
I wouldn't know if it's time to see Cabral, but
Yappy.
I was about to say more Yappy, I think. I think those minutes should come earlier for Yappy, whether it's at the wing, and then you can bring him into the center, into midfield, and bring Cabral in for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because Yappy has been pretty good on the wing a few times we've seen him out there. I like the way he dominates that left. I like the way he manipulates the half space, and he becomes like a 10/9 at that point where he's like playing between the defense and trying to create an opportunity either for himself or the other players in that area.
I kind of like the idea of like a 4-1-3-2 with him and Rafa together.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like put those two up together, have a Jasper or a Diak once he's in game shape as that one. So you basically are really playing a five back, five front.
Yeah.
Like with Sam and Keegan in major support roles offensively. You're essentially turning Sammy into like a left midfielder at that point. But it's definitely something I'm interested in seeing at some point because I feel like, sure, Yappy's been pretty good on the wing, but I feel like just pulling him in 10, 15 yards, really like is going to help him, one.
Yeah.
And it's going to just pull those two middle center backs just a little bit. Right?
Yeah.
They're not going to be as in tandem if they're thinking about two huge dudes in Rafa and Yappy, two physical presences in the box like that. I don't know. It's something I'm hoping we see at some point.
No, that's a good point, and I like that point. I never really thought of playing them together, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
So you brought it up, but I think playing Yappy on the left and Rafa on the right as a pairing on that striker position, I think would be beneficial, especially because you've seen both of them be creators at times too. Yeah. Guys that can create opportunities for other people. The whole Rafa thing is just so weird to me too, because he hasn't scored, but he's done the right thing, and maybe he's just not a finisher as well. And maybe you need a finisher next to him to be the guy that we need. And that's how you create your own goals, by having somebody else finish, and then you can get the rebounds or something.
It's just so, and then with those two up top, you could play anything with those three because Sammy and Keegan are going to be on the outside, right? So you could go Georgie, Cole, Omir. You could go Georgie, Omir, Ronan. Georgie, Omir, Ollie. Really you could play around a lot with those three if you put the two strikers up above them. It's not a way we've seen this team play. It's not a way we've seen Yappy play, but something I want to look out for in like a last 20 minutes need a goal situation, right? Because
of course,
probably going to find ourselves in that situation once or twice this year, and it would be nice to know that we have that. All right, that's going to do it for roster talk. We are going to come back and we're going to talk about hating fake Salt Lake. Really, there's nothing better, and we're going to do that right after this short break. And we're back. Welcome back to DNVR Rapids. Mitch, Yaya, Duane, super producer Alyssa, hanging out on this beautiful Wednesday morning in the Mile High City. The correct side of the Rocky Mountains. The beautiful side of the Rocky Mountains. The habitable side of the Rocky Mountains. Because you know who's on the other side of the Rocky Mountains?
the dark side.
The dark side.
Boo.
Salt Lake.
Anything west of the Rockies is pretty much not good.
Yeah, we can agree to disagree on some of that, but you're mostly correct. Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing's good, but mostly not
You're mostly
good.
correct.
Mostly not good.
You're mostly correct.
I'd put in and out in that.
Well, now you're just being mean.
I mean, Mitch's place of birth, family.
I mean, Mitch, whatever Mitch likes, I'm down for. They're good.
In and out's good.
Also, real quick before we continue, drop a like, please. We really appreciate it. Share this podcast. Leave comments. We'll get to them. If you have any questions, let us know as well.
It says 17 of you are watching, but it only says there's 7 likes. That ratio is off. Throw a like our way.
We should get a like per view.
Yeah, come on, help us out. All right, yeah, you came up with this.
No. I'm not taking credit for this. This was you.
Okay, I came up with this.
I'm not taking credit for things I don't do.
Well,
Just so everyone understands Mitch's commitment to hating on Salt Lake, he wanted the entire show to be just hating on Salt Lake.
I
we were
almost,
like, but we got to talk Rapids too.
I almost set up like a voicemail where you guys could call in and say how much you hate Salt Lake and play them on the show. Like that's all I wanted to do.
Let's do that.
We should
for
definitely
next
do
show.
it like more towards like another game of these, home game or
like
something.
next RSL game.
Because I hate
love
them
that idea.
so much, and I know I'm not the only one. What were you just waving at?
The camera was on me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought there was a phantom in here or something. Phantom of Studio A. Okay, well, so here's what we're going to do. We each are going to give our two, what's the word here? Biggest, most legit, most passionate reasons
Just reasons.
that
I may have better ones tomorrow. I don't
to
know.
hate Salt Lake.
So I made it a tier of 6.
Okay?
Just because it looked nice on the graphic, 3 and 3
It looks
on each
great.
side.
It looks beautiful.
But there's plenty of reasons, and I thought we could talk them out as we go.
Okay.
Let's see what's number 1, what's number 2, and we rank it correctly as a group. What do you guys think?
Love it.
Love it.
Let's go then.
Should we start at 1 or 6?
What if we throw something out there and then we rank it out and
Love
see
that.
if it's even,
Even
on our list?
better.
And see where it goes on there.
Even better. Okay, Duane, you are a nice, sweet, fatherly
Oh, wow.
Boy.
man.
Okay. I like the word boy better, but that's fine.
Please tell us why you hate an entire region
It's
of
the
people.
stupidest, most idiotic lake in the history of lakes.
Whoa.
It's filled with salt.
Salt.
It's not deep. It's not enjoyable. It's not a place you're going to want to go swim.
I've swam in it before.
Is it
Why?
Because I wanted to float really
That's
floaty in it.
I wanted to float really floaty.
It's crazy how buoyant you are in a salt lake like that. So stupid.
All the stupid rises to the top in that lake
Oh,
because it is held up by the idiocy of filling your lake with salt.
The S in salt
is-
stands for stupid.
So stupid. It's just the dumbest lake.
So we're gonna say Salt Lake. It's like the actual
Dumbest lake.
the dumbest lake.
The dumbest lake.
Where do you want to rank that?
Not only is it so stupid, you went and named your entire town after it.
It's a
like-
you named your soccer club real Salt Lake.
Idiotic.
That
What a
it's a
dumb lake.
real Salt Lake.
Just a dumb lake.
Where would you guys rank that?
Salt Lake.
I'll put it at 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a nice.
It's like
an
people are going to go
anchor.
through this list and it's going to be like players and
Despite its
all this
buoyancy,
other stuff. And then you're like, oh yeah, and fuck that lake too.
yeah. That lake is. It's just kind of. It's a good floor to start with.
Yeah.
Because floor is where you
just put
put
that
garbage.
Yeah.
Great. I love that. Kevin, good to see you, bud. Good morning. Can I go next?
Go ahead.
I myself a sober person for over 2 years now.
Congratulations.
But Kevin is correct. Government run liquor stores with terrible hours and no refrigerators to only buy 3-2 beer.
State run.
3-2 beer. You can't even get a proper buzz on for this game. You have to drink twice as many beers.
So what is that?
I don't know.
Low alcohol percentage?
3-2 beer. Just call it 3-2 beer and everyone can fill in the blank with the rest of it. But yeah, it's insane.
State run beer.
State run beer.
That's it.
Wait.
It's stupid.
What is this?
It's no
Is
fun.
this the USSR?
It's no fun. It's no fun.
You can't even get good beer?
Or weed.
And it's
You have to get the worst version of
and
beer?
it's not refrigerated.
Warm? Ugh.
Warm beer.
I am upset for the drinkers.
Did you know that if you go into a bar there and you order a drink and you're about to finish that drink and you order another one, you can't?
Is that true?
Yeah,
you gotta finish
have
the
to
one.
wait until you finish it and they let you think about it and then you can have another one.
That's insane.
It's so dumb.
I mean, it's all gas anyway.
So what should we call it? Liquor laws?
liquor laws.
Liquor laws. Number 5, liquor laws. We're trying to have fun here. We're trying to catch a buzz
Yeah.
on. We're trying to go to the game.
Especially because if you're trying to drink, it's for a reason, right?
Yes, because you have to watch the Rapids play.
I mean, they have to watch the Jazz, so it's still
Ah!
yikes.
They have to watch the Jazz sober.
I don't know this, but I'm guessing that means it's only 3-2 beer in stadium as well.
I mean, it's a state law, isn't it?
Oh my God.
State law, dude.
That's horrible.
Dude.
All right. What's next? What else do we hate? Yeah, I think it's your turn.
You know what I really, really hate about this team? Their name. It's just a ripoff from Real Madrid.
Yeah, there's nothing royal about you.
There's it's the dumbest thing ever. Can't you be unique at least? I get LAFC, FC at least. It's common around football. But Real, you're just literally trying to copy Real Madrid because you're trying to give yourself some prestige because you have none because you're in the middle of God knows nowhere. It's the shittiest thing that you could do. You're just trying to take prestige from somebody else. I hate it. I hate it so much because it's the dumbest thing ever.
And you included the dumbest lake ever in the name.
So not only did you copy arguably the most prestigious club in
I
the
would
world.
call it the most prestigious club in the world.
Yeah, it's up there.
I'm a Barcelona fan. I can admit that.
Yeah, it's up there for sure.
That's some real fake energy.
Yeah, you're faking it. No one thinks you're royal.
Dude, that
No
name-
one is confusing Pablo for the King of Spain.
Dude, it's so dumb. Every time I read that name, dude, I get so pissed off. It's the fucking dumbest shit ever. How the fuck are you gonna call yourself Real? Did you not know you were real before you did this? You have no prestige. Real Madrid got that name because it was Atletico Madrid, so they're trying to bring themselves up and say they're
Madrid.
real Madrid, Real. Royale, they're the real, it's fucking the dumbest shit ever. It doesn't translate. Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here.
Dude, that name to me is, can I put it number 3? Would you guys be cool with that?
I'd be cool with it at 1 or 2 if I'm being real with it.
Let's put it at
Mitch,
2.
I think it might be 1 or 2.
Let's
2.
put it at 2, and then we can go back and tweak the list a little bit. And Alyssa was gonna have to do a lot of legwork on this one.
Sorry.
Club name. Don't even say it. Name that must not be spoken.
Dude, it's such a dumb name. I hate that name so much. It's that's why I hate Inter Miami too. You just took the Inter from Inter Milan and you're I'm Miami now. It's the dumbest thing ever. I'm cool with FC because it's soccer club, football club. I get that. I understand where you're coming from there. You're just trying to brand yourself that you're a club. But you're just taking the literal name from somebody else and putting it in front of yours and saying, hey, man, we're just like them.
Pretty lame.
I think it's your turn, Mitch.
No, it's Dwayne's turn.
Oh, Duane.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
All right. We haven't gone too deep into the 2024 MLS kit reviews.
This is true.
This kit sucks. I've heard a lot of support for this shirt, and let me tell you, this is the most clip art looking bullshit I have seen on a kit in a long time. You have, a squiggly line that makes 3 triangles. It's a mountain. You had some nice vertical lines that you could have just ran all the way up the shirt, and you had to screw it up with this bullcrap excuse of the Rocky Mountains. You couldn't even make good mountains. You just made a jagged 3 triangle line. It's so stupid. Not only is it stupid, the placement of it screws up the club badge, which has a dumbass name on it, and the whole kit just looks clownish. And then, and this is not their fault, but it's too bad, so sad for you, your sponsor logo is ridiculous. It takes up the entire jersey. It's 2 logos in one because the word mark is so gigantic, and then you got this goofy amoeba thing to the left of it. It's a disaster. People are like, oh, this is great. It's not great. It's not a good representation of the Rocky Mountains. You've embarrassed the Rocky Mountains. You've soiled the Rocky Mountains with this kindergarten drawing. My 9-year-old daughter draws better mountains than what's on this kit. It is garbage. It is not a good kit. You look at the embossed mountains that we put on our previous home kit, it actually brought in what mountains actually look like. It paid homage to the Rocky Mountains, to our home. And then you go on the other side, and it's like kindergarten time. Might as well have drawn this thing with crayons.
To me, it looks like if you took away the badge and the Adidas, it looks like a 1970s Burger King employee uniform.
Dude, you know what's funny?
You're not wrong.
You know
They got Burger King colors.
You know what's funny? If they would, I was just thinking this. If they would have made the mountains yellow, I would have called them a Ronald McDonald Club.
Yeah,
That would have been a
Ronald
better
McDonald Club.
That would have been better as their name, the
You
Ronald
can still
McDonald
call
Club.
them that. That's fine.
just garbage.
That's the colors they chose.
They look like a fast food restaurant chain.
Okay, so where are we gonna put Kit here, guys? 1, 3, or 4?
What do you guys think? Duane is very passionate.
I don't know what
which
you
pushed
get
me.
two are cooking, but this is just a shirt.
I'd say 3.
It's temporary, so I could put it at 4 and be happy.
New kit.
I
then?
just think it sucks.
I'd
I
say
don't
3.
care where you put it.
I'd say 3, because truly every kit that they make sucks, right? But this
Yeah.
one especially. But I mean, honestly,
It's bad.
okay.
It's
new
bad.
kit. Okay, cool.
I have one. I have a gripe to get off with this.
Go ahead.
The name of their stadium,
Rio Tinto.
America First.
Oh yeah, they named.
Oh, you mean the sponsor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
America First. America First is the most fascist bullshit name for anything anywhere. And I hate it.
It's a
You know-
bummer for their players who are not from the United States.
And the fact that they just waltz in to America First Field and just be the jerks that they are all the time really grinds my gears.
Yeah, grinds my
It
gears.
really grinds my gears. America First.
It's a.
We all
stupid
know
name.
what it means. You can say it's a bank. I don't care. We all know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And we don't like you for that.
Yeah.
We kind of hate you for that.
I hate you more.
I hate you more than I did before.
A lot, actually. You're right, dude. That's a dumb name. You got to think about the way you're being
Yes!
represented at all times. Like, I get that it's a sponsor and you're trying to make money,
Just get a different sponsor.
but it's literally just like you're literally. It feels like propaganda.
It
It's
is.
truly true. Might as well have been a picture of Mitt Romney as the sponsor. It just feels very,
Yes.
for a very international game. It feels very out of place to have. You don't see the Bernabeu being called Spain First Stadium.
You know what's funny? As we're talking names of the club and like how silly it is that they're copying, and then you've got the sponsor for their stadium. Even if you were to get rid of the sponsor for the stadium, you're still left with Rio Tinto, however you want to say it. I'm not good at saying it.
I'm not judging. Do your thing.
You know that is also stolen from Spain. It's the most toxic river in southwest Spain.
Wow.
And that's what you named your stadium after. Like, not only did you just swipe it from Spain, again, it's not even like a cool thing to swipe.
It's
No!
almost it's
Bad
almost like they have
decisions.
no creativity on the other side of Utah, the other side of the Rockies.
They don't. They have none.
We have a stadium called the Dick. We lean into it.
The Richard.
The Dick Sporting Goods Park. It's a sponsor, but we lean into it. At least it's a sports sponsor, right?
Yeah.
It's not a bank, not a dumb bank with a dumb name. And then we call it the Dick, the Richard. It's a fun thing. You're right. The name has to be number 3 or number 4.
I was going to say 4.
Stadium name.
Stadium name. It's horrible, and I hate you for it.
Oh man.
How about that? Okay. Yaya,
Dustin's comment is hilarious.
it's up to
You
you.
don't have to pull that up.
It's up to you. What is the number one reason we should hate FSL?
Oh man. This one's hard because I have a couple that makes me really hate them.
Well, let's spitball here.
Why
Let's
don't
spitball.
you go all 3, or 2,
Yeah, yeah.
however many you got, and we'll choose the one.
Yeah.
Well, so
That
one of
makes it
them
on the
is
list.
I fucking hate they try to claim the fucking Rocky Mountains. Those are our fucking mountains. We're the Rocky Mountain State. Get
That's right.
out of here. That's our thing. Go find your
You're a
own
desert.
thing. Like, go find your own thing. Just because they're there a little bit doesn't mean that you get to say we're also a Rocky Mountain State.
No.
You're not. We're the
No.
Rocky Mountain State. Get out of here. We don't
Yeah.
like that shit. Like, it's
We need to
us.
put the little E next to this episode. Just remember that.
For explicit, I'm just like, dude, I hate so damn much that they try to claim the Rockies. every time. And
You're a desert.
And you do a horrible job of claiming them. You do a bad job. Every way you represent them, it's bad. The only good thing that you were able to represent them in is that Utah classic jersey with the white mountain caps. That's the only one. And I'm talking about the Jazz? The Jazz one.
No,
that's the
can't get behind that either.
But that's the only one that like, it's decent enough where you can be like...
Another thing they stole from New Orleans. They stole the Jazz.
The dumbest thing ever, dude. They have nothing original in
Nothing.
That state. They take everything from everybody else. Every time.
What other reasons
They
do you
weren't
have?
even in state until 20 years after Colorado.
That's right.
Yeah, you can't claim something we've had.
That's right.
You just can't. Like, it's too late. We're the Centennial State. Like, get the hell out of here. We're
correct.
the Rocky Mountain State. Like, you can't even have the Century, bro. Get the out of here.
Yeah.
The other one is Pablo Mastroeni, dude. You gotta hate Pablo being out there.
I do.
Rapids
I hate it so
legend,
much.
dude, leading a good, decent team in RSL. It hurts. It hurts so much. You gotta hate. I mean, you even have to hate Pablo a little bit for it. Like, even though he did something right for his career, we're fans. We're emotional. We have the right to get mad. And he has the right to do the thing that's right for his career. But there's repercussions to it, right? You are a club legend, but you're leading the rivals. It's like Lionel Messi going out to Real Madrid and leading them to a few UCLs.
Like, all I'm saying is we retired his number, put him up on the wall in the Gallery of Honor, and how does he repay? By driving the dagger into our backs and beating us
Year
over
after
because he
year.
You
knows.
suck so bad,
Yeah.
Pablo. I hate you.
I hate that. I hate that so much. There's one more, and I don't know if it's number one worthy.
Well, let's talk about it.
Kyle Beckerman,
Oh!
former Rapid,
I'm so mad.
former Rapid,
So mad.
that got traded to RSL for a permanent. This how stupid they are. A permanent international roster spot. Like, I hate Kyle Beckerman with the passion. He's probably their most iconic player. And I hate Kyle Beckerman so much. Because
He's a clown, dude.
It's like
Clown.
it's the whole Rapid thing, right? It's a whole Pablo thing. Where you come in as Pablo, you're a Rapid. We love you as a Rapid. Then you leave and you win a title with RSL.
Right.
Like, get the hell out of here, dude. Get them dreadlocks out of here.
Should we say
Kyle
X?
Beckerman.
Should we just call it X Rapids?
Ex-Rapids.
Is that what are you guys comfortable with that? I mean, it really nothing makes me more mad than
Yeah, I'm fine with
like
that.
when you see a former Bronco on the Raiders, right? When you see like an Avs player on the Blues, right? Like, no, it gets me so. It just makes my blood boil. Yeah.
But it does come down to a little bit like it's the Rapids' fault. Like, a little bit.
Whoa.
A little bit.
Save it for another episode.
But, like, it does make your blood boil. Like, it makes you pissed off that you have Pablo succeeding in RSL and beating you constantly. You hate that Kyle Beckerman left, and then they won a championship out there. Like, it makes you mad. Like,
Yeah.
you hate them for it. Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, get the hell out of here.
Get out of
Like,
here.
Like, I know a lot of people don't get this hatred, but screw them. Like, honestly, like, I just
Yeah.
because I don't want to say the F word that much because I've already said it like 15 times. But it's literally capital F-U-C-K, like 10 out of 10. I see you, and it's hands on sight, baby. Like,
F Utah.
F Utah, man. Futa?
Futa.
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 Dude,
Love
it's
that.
the dumbest state.
Hashtag Futa.
So now we have our list.
This is the list.
You want to change anything? Like,
No, I think it's perfect. I hate all those things about them
Yeah.
you want to change the order of
in
any of them?
exactly that order.
I like it.
Man, I hate Utah so much.
There's nothing good
People
about
don't
it.
understand my hatred for Utah.
Irredeemable state.
That's one of the only states I know where they're at on the map, and I hate them.
Well,
It's true. Yeah, and I had to talk yesterday. He doesn't know where anything is. But he
I
knows
didn't
where
know Baltimore
but
was
he
on the
knows
harbor.
where
All
Utah
right.
is.
all right. We are going to jump into the game. We're going to talk about the game, but we're going to take a quick short break so Yaya can look at a map of the continental United States. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Welcome back to the DNVR Rapids Podcast. It's super producer Alyssa. It's downtown Duane Brown. It's Cowboy Super
Yeah.
And it's me, Mitch. I'm here, Merchel, hanging out. That was really fun.
We need to give you a new nickname besides Merchel.
Thank you. I'm not defined by my profession.
You are, but it's fine.
I'm my own person.
What would you like your name to be? Your nickname to be?
Oh, that's too much pressure. I can't think about that on the spot. I don't want to sound conceited. Because
The better Vin Diesel.
yeah, I would come up with something awesome like that. So, okay, there's a game to play this weekend. Hey, what do you know? My computer made it to the third segment.
Let's go.
The important one where we actually have to talk about stuff that
Let's
I can
go.
look up. But, whatever. It is RMC week. Yeah, you have been digging all the way into these advanced stats. And
Just found a nickname for you, Feral Carroll.
I mean, that's not that bad, really.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Kevin's good job, Kevin.
Also, drop a like.
Please drop a like if you're in here. Please. If you hate Salt Lake, you'll like this video.
If you hate anything, like this video.
Yeah, if you are a hater like me, go for it. Let's talk about this game, though. I mean, to me, and tell me if I'm wrong. To me, number one, we're looking at how do we stop Chicho and Luna from just carving up this back line on the counter, right? Am I wrong? To me, that's kind of the whole story of the game.
Yeah, it really is, because a lot of the things they do, man, it's all through. They play the exact game the Rapids play almost. Biggest difference is the long balls. They're in love with long balls, but they do a high press too, and they do a really good job at that high press. And that's how they create a lot of their chances. That's what Armas wants to do. That you want the high press to get the ball in the opponent's final third, and it's a quicker chance. You got the defense out of plays. You can get numbers, right? That's the reason you do a high press. The thing is that Real Salt Lake has done a really good job of disrupting other teams when they're trying to play out of the back, trying to get out of there quickly. And that's going to be the biggest issue for Colorado. Can Maxu, can Bombi, can those wingbacks get the ball up forward enough to Ronan, to Ollie, to Jasper, whoever's in that midfield, to get going forward and not be stuck in a situation where you're defending 3 versus 2 against RSL because you lost the ball in the final third. That in your defensive third. You just don't want that, right? And Chicho right now is he has a great shooting percentage. He's really good at just kind of getting in the right spot. And then I keep bringing him up. Diego Luna runs that team. Chicho's the big name, but Luna's the guy it's the engine to that midfield. It's the engine to what they do. And that's going to be the hardest thing for Colorado, to try to get away from those press and all that press and try to build forward quickly.
I really love Chicho and Diego Luna as players.
Sure.
They are so fun to watch. They are so talented, tattooed out, modern footballers. And yet they're wearing the worst kit with the worst badge for the worst team
With the
in
worst
the
name.
worst stadium in the worst state in the world.
With the worst name. Don't forget the name.
Yeah.
The name's horrible.
And that's a bummer, because I want to enjoy those guys playing. If they were literally well, that's not true. There's a few teams they couldn't go to where I would enjoy them. But
Yeah.
it really is. To me, if you slow down that transition opportunities, if Keegan can stay home on Luna, keep him in front of him, or Chicho, I guess they'll both kind of be all over the board like that. If Bombi doesn't get pulled too far out of position up, right? If Sammy can track back. Is this the Sammy breakout game? I feel like he sort of had a solid game on Saturday, right? Obviously a terrible game in Portland with an own goal. I mean, not terrible, but can't ignore an own goal, right?
Yeah.
Is this the game where he breaks out, Duane? Is this Sammy Vine's time?
Would be perfect timing for it. I mean, we're gonna need his speed. In the thing with the new strategy for the Rapids of that press, that is where a counter-attacking Pablo Mastroeni system is going to thrive the most. So I don't expect Armas to change up his tactics at all. He's still going to be pressing. I don't expect Pablo to change his tactics. So it's going to be, again, it's not so much Real Salt Lake beating the Rapids. It's forcing the Rapids to beat the Rapids. So, maybe the golden savior to keep us for that is a very fast Sammy Vines coming down on the end and, breaking up that counter. So I think it would be the perfect match for him to have his breakout game. We certainly need him, for sure.
I hope Kevin Bonilla plays so he can get slid on. He hasn't played a minute yet, but I want to see him play.
Just to get slid?
Just to get slid.
I don't mind it.
I want Nate Jones to come in and slide on him.
Hey, Nate Jones also started in that scrimmage this weekend.
Good for him.
So did Kamani. Kamani's back,
It was
too.
basically R1 who didn't start.
Huh?
R2.
R2 was R1 starters.
Yeah.
Basically.
It was the R1 bench.
Yeah, the starters, sorry. The starters were the
Jackson
R1
Travis,
bench players.
Seb,
Yes.
and everybody, yeah.
Good for them. Getting minutes is always good for your first team.
Kamani is an interesting wrinkle into that right wing discussion, too.
Yeah. Does he take over those Lewis minutes?
See, that it might be the question.
I
He
didn't
might
know
have
if he
been
was
wrong
back.
with Cabral.
Yeah.
Although we're paying Cabral to do it, so I'd like to see him go out there and do it.
Only half
Won't
of it,
hold
though.
my breath.
Got to pay him either way.
They're paying half of
Okay,
him
here's the
not to do it.
question. Here's maybe the question of this game. Does Rafa score?
No.
I'll say yes.
He has to, right?
Wishful thinking, but I say yes.
Does Rafa score?
Like you said, he has to. He has to open the scoring account really quickly.
We've
really
talked
soon.
about it on this show. Yeah. He is putting himself in great position. His work rate has been fantastic. He had that beautiful hold-up play into progressive carry from midfield to the box, basically. Bad pass to Cole. Cole also had the bad pass back. But you saw it.
Yep.
To me, that was one of his best plays since he's been here. Was his ability to completely stop, receive the ball in traffic, use his physicality, completely turn his defender, get out in front, sprinting with the ball at his feet, finding options in front of him. We need to see that. Rapids are going to have possession in this game. I think it's good. I think you're looking at a game flow similar to the game we just watched.
Yeah.
Right? So can Rafa break that line? Right? Can you have your build up? Can you force your turnovers? Can your defense hold? Can Zach get a throw or a goal kick or a drop up to him? Can he use that physicality to hold off the defender and start something?
Yeah. And again, these are very good. It's a very good defense for RSL.
Yeah.
So you got to be on your thing. It's going to come down to, I think Rafa is going to have to finish, but I think it's going to be a lot of Jordy and Cole trying to set these guys up to be good, to finish. It's just, can Rafa get that ball in the back of the net? And I'm wishful thinking. I'm with Duane. My brain says no. My heart says yes. But you need to open that scoring account right now because it's looking dry 2 games in, and you're supposed to be the DP9 that everybody's been begging for the last 5 years, or more. And you
10
need
forever.
You need
Since Connor Casey left.
Yeah.
You truly, truly need him to be the guy that
Just
can take
score a
you
goal.
to the next level.
Score a goal against Salt Lake. So much is forgiven if you score against Salt Lake. Honestly.
If you score a 90-minute winner against ourselves
Ah!
and you don't score at all for the rest of the year and you're not a Rapid next year, you'll be remembered. You will be remembered. Not by many, but this guy will remember you in good light. That's my thing about Rafa.
Please just score this weekend, man.
And one thing too, real quick, is that
Yeah, real quick.
Steph needs to step up. This team is really good at shots. It's really good at getting good looks every time. Stefan is going to have to be in his A game.
Yep.
And also, you need that defense to be aware of the quick translations. That's why Bombi's going to be key in this game because of speed. Got to be careful with Keegan not getting left on an island again. I thought Ollie did a good job of recovering for Keegan a lot of time last week. He stepped it up defensively. But again, I think it takes a little. I think that defense is going to be so key to keeping everybody in check. And if the defense is good, then you can definitely get some good counters. You can definitely go and attack and create some chances yourself and get them off their line.
For sure. This is the best team we played so far. In Real Salt Lake.
Oh,
very
not even
good.
close. Yeah, not
very,
even close.
very good. I will say it again. I thought they looked very good against Miami. I would be willing to say Miami might be a little better on paper than the Rapids. We've got our work cut out for us. But yeah, I think you're right. This has to be. I mean, I thought Stefan played a good game.
Oh, he had
on
that
Saturday.
amazing
Really,
save.
really good game.
He was good.
This is going to be, that game for him to really solidify himself with the fans.
Yeah.
And Georgie, I mean, I think Georgie's really found. I think in the last 2 games, he's really found where he can be the most effective, and hopefully, this is the game where we see the Georgie assists. Those beautiful Georgie balls that are just missing by a little bit, and hopefully, he finds them here. Hopefully, he's opening up for Rafa, opening up for Cole, opening up for whoever is in front of him, because he has looked so good. And skill wise, I said this on the last show, but I mean, we haven't been able to watch a guy with this level of skill.
Yeah,
Since
been a long time.
I mean, potentially, I don't want to go all the way back to Valderrama, but it's close.
It's a long way.
It's like he's so fun to watch. So I really hope that this is the breakout game for Georgie. Real quick, predictions. Who wants to go first?
Oof. All right. I've not been picking wins so far this season, but more than anything on that list we made I hate losing to RSL more than anything.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to predict a win. I'm going to say 2-1 Rapids.
Wow.
I'm going to say the previous player who knows what this rivalry means in Cole Bassett will score.
Wow.
And then the new player from the off season who I think gets it more than all of the other new players, and that's Omir Fernandez.
Oh.
We talked to him about it. He has been a rivalry killer with New York Red Bulls versus NYC
That
FC.
Hudson River Derby has some beautiful
He
goal.
understands the importance of it.
Yeah.
And I think he might be the difference.
I'm going to go. I hate to do this after I bashed them. 2-1 loss. I got to go with my brain on this one. I think Rafa scores because I said he has to. I'm a man of my word, so I kind of have to stick with that. So I think it's Rafa scores and it's a 2-1 loss. Hoping for a little bit of a reverse curse, but it's just so hard to pick a win for this Rapids team right now, especially against a team that you've lost to constantly.
I hate Salt Lake. I hate them so much. The hatred fuels me. 1-1, Cole Bassett.
1-1 Cole Bassett.
1-1, Cole Bassett. Just make it so, to me, at minimum, you have to draw one of these 2 first games. You can lose one of them, but at minimum, you need a draw, if not a win, to make the cup something in that home game. You can't seed the cup before you play them at home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
You can't be back already.
Right? So get that here, get a point, and just see what happens. I think they might have a little false confidence maybe coming off of that LAFC game where you can't really read too much into conditions like that. Maybe the Rapids can pull out a point for us. See what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, if you get a point,
This would be the best winners lounge we've had ever.
Yeah, if you get a point out of the first
That's
3
a
games,
fact.
especially because
Straight
they never
up.
win at Rio Tinto
This
either.
would be the best winners lounge we've ever had.
Yeah, they don't win there very often either. So if you win there, let's go.
Let's hope. You think the U.S. women pull it out tonight against Canada?
I do.
Me
I
too.
think they're going to bounce back. I think
Let's get some Colorado goals in there, dude.
We
Swanson's
got-
playing.
It's the
Ram.
back line. Back line's getting a little aged.
A little bit.
So I hope to see a little bit of a shift on the back line as far as who starts and who comes in. And I mean, there's a little bit of Rapids issues in there in the midfield too. With again, very good on the ball on the attack, but it's the tackles and the takeaways that are struggling. So we'll see, but I do feel real good about it, especially with the news of June 1st, U.S. Women's National
I'm
Team
so
coming
excited for
here to
I'm so excited
home in the
for that.
Rapids. I will be there. You can count on it.
I will also be there. You can count on that. All right.
Real quick, I just want to shout out Ilya Dia. He is an RSL fan. You're respectful. We appreciate you tuning in. Drop a like. We're rivals. We hate each other, but
Yeah, that's
again,
true.
we still keep it civil. So we appreciate
I
you.
I trashed their
tuning in.
entire existence like 20 minutes ago.
I did too. Trust me, I was there for it. We all
They're
did.
doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, hey man.
And as they should. This is what it's about.
Like again, dude, it's all cool,
Yeah,
dude.
you're
We're all
right,
chilling.
You're right.
Yeah, and if you guys want to come down and watch the game here on Saturday, let us know. We can definitely.
We'll figure it
yeah,
out.
we'll figure it
If
out.
enough
We'll
of
find
you say
something.
yes to us on Twitter, we can. I mean, is there? I don't know. Depends if there's a producer around. How we do post game. We'll figure.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
It's
figure
not
it
the
out.
worst of it.
This is an off-pod conversation to have. Go ahead and plug us out of here.
DNVR Rapids on Twitter. Follow us there. We really appreciate it. Give this video a like. We really appreciate that as well. We love to just talk soccer. We love to talk Rapids specifically. So just tune in to us. Give us a 5-star review wherever you hear this podcast. If you have a Pit Curious friend, let them know about this podcast. We
The
really
Pitcast.
appreciate the Pitcast. We appreciate if you guys just spread the word of the Rapids and help us grow more and more every day.
Walk in the light of Rapid Man. Duane?
Blessings to you all. Beat Salt Lake. That's all I got.
Please,
It's got to happen.
please. Like and subscribe on YouTube. It goes a super long way for us. I mean, I know we're only in the 70s, but that means 100K. It's on the horizon. We can see the 100K. So if you're not subscribed, please be subscribed. It'd be really cool if we were the first all-city network to hit that 100K mark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? CHGO's hard charging almost to 50. I think they just cracked it yesterday, maybe.
Close.
But I want to get to 100. I want us to get to 100. So subscribe if you're not subscribed. It's a ton of good content from across the whole network. Buffs, Broncos, Nuggets, Avs, Rams, Rockies, bets, DNVR, or the Denver Sports Podcast. I mean, it's all here. It's all here. So make sure you follow that. Become a diehard at thednvr.com. You get free merch, and then you get discounts on merch. Oh, and you get discounts at the bar on the watch party. Oh, and you get discounts on tickets to events. It's all the best stuff. So make sure you're a part of that. More importantly, I hate RSL. And more important than that, up the pits.
We all silly like the mayor.